relate my fate. I regurgitate all the words that I say. Listen up, don't miss the fall, but just pick it up now off the floor, man. And guess who? Yeah, you're the ones that I'm talking to. You're never gonna guess what's coming next. Let your mind inside what I manifest, but inside this rhyme, you will find on my mind. I just sit my crazy lips and just step in my trip, just step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Just step on my trip, just step on my trip, man. Just step on my trip, just step in my trip.
I've got no pecs to flex all day long. I dream about sex, but I'm impotent and now I've seen me ass. I can't remember when I got it up last. I stink, I need a drink, roll out a split to help me think. I live on the road just like a gypsy, cause staying in one place fucking shits me blood. Sunshine, moonshine, change the way that I will read your mind. Living inside this solar flux, we're all trapped in a perpetual paradox. But you're here, I'm near, the way that I flow is all so clear. Just sit my crazy lip and just step in my trip, just step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man.
So the words in my mind that I say flow out of me easily, so easily that my mind is free to blaze up your mind with my fantasy. Cause when I get on this mic, well I'm flowing so awfully tight that my rhymes are like the claw of a tiger that's ready to strike.
Now when I get on the street and I create a brand new beat, well feel free to come up and meet me. Don't be shy cause you can never distract me when negative vibes attack me. Getting in my mind and hack me, well I act like nothing's happening and there ain't no way to stab me.
Step on my trip, just step on my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip. Just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man.
Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man. Step on my trip, just step in my trip, man.